Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to No Shit MMA on thatchannel.com. We're live.
How come you always get to like come back from commercials and stuff?
It's because you're sitting in the wrong chair.
Oh.
Maybe we'll switch seats one day.
I don't want to do any of that shit.
I don't see that happening anytime soon. We have Josh Barnett on the phone live with us right now. Josh just got back in from Japan. He is the baby-faced assassin. And Josh, are you there with us?
I am.
All right, well, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, Josh, I just got to tell you, you were like my first choice as a guest because you're the baddest ass guy and then do the best interviews in all the sports. But I'm like super frightened of you. Like I find you to be a very frightening human being.
Expand on that. Exactly why?
Just like you look like you're gonna smash fuck people. Like you just, when you come out ready to fight, you look terrifying. And you're fighting Fedor, who's it looks like that's the case. Who's probably the most mellowest looking guy when he fights. It's gonna be weird, but I would way rather be hit by Fedor than you for sure.
I guess until we put that test to the test as it may be, I guess we can't really say one or the other, huh?
Now, Josh, I'm not afraid of you, and that's got a lot to do with the fact that I'm not a professional fighter, and I'm also located in Toronto.
Well, that is quite a distance from me. In fact, I would almost say it's almost about as far away as you can be in terms of Canada.
You're in Washington, right?
I'm actually in Southern California right now,
Oh, nice.
but I do spend time in Washington, too.
Cool. Can you punch him from Southern California?
I've played plenty of Street Fighter 4, and I know I'm no Dolphin.
Yeah, I'll punch him for you.
Are you pretty into the games and that kind of stuff, like video games and that kind of deal?
Yeah, I grew up of that generation with, just ending on Atari and then moving into the Nintendo and whatnot, and so I can say I play my fair share of video games.
I had a Genesis.
I had
Do you remember
a Genesis
that one?
Too.
Did you really?
Nintendo to Genesis to Dreamcast to PlayStation, and I have a PS3 and an Xbox 360. I play plenty of games on my laptop and desktops too. So
and
there's really a medium out there I'm not playing the game on.
Very cool.
When you're not fighting or performing or training, you're, as far as I know, into like sci-fi and comic books and stuff like that too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, big time.
Yeah, cool.
Cool. Did you check out the movie that just came out, The Watchmen?
Yeah, actually, the thing is that I ditched my buddy Alex Panovich to go see that, in fact, and I'm thinking it was well worth it.
Cool.
Perfect.
Yeah, Alex is a friend of the show, and he's like a actor down in California. Have you ever beat him up in training, Josh? Smashed him?
Actually, last Sunday we put the boxing gloves on and we threw some punches.
Yeah, did you make him bleed or anything?
Unfortunately, no. His skin is much too leathery for that.
Yeah.
So when he woke up, what'd you tell him?
But no, actually, we went to see Alex in a role where he played himself. He was a mentally handicapped guy.
Nice.
In a movie called Personal Effects, and a real amazing job by Alex. And then he came out just a couple days before he had to head back to
Came out of the closet, or
Vancouver. Yeah. I don't know if he stepped out that far yet.
So did he go full
he put
retard?
on the gloves and he got on the mat with me, and we boxed a good few 3-4 rounds.
cool.
In that film, did he go full retard? Because you can't get an Academy Award nomination. You have to go part retard or half retard.
Yeah, he was only part.
All right, cool.
He
He could be up for a nomination soon. Then.
Yeah, I don't think
maybe so.
we don't actually call handicapped people retards. But let's move on.
No, this is from a movie. I'm quoting a movie.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tropical Thunder.
There you go. It's Tropic
Nice.
Thunder. That was a good movie too.
So you were just
that
in.
was a hilarious.
Yeah, it was. So you were just in Japan, Josh. What was going on over there?
Well, we were eating a lot of rice, and there was a lot of skyscrapers, so pretty typical. But there's a pro wrestling organization called the IDF, and I've been working with them since that specific group since '07, I believe.
Wow.
And we had another successful show. This time it was in Hiroshima, and me and my student Eric Hammer, we went over there and we worked a couple matches.
Now, hey Josh, is pro wrestling in Japan similar to pro wrestling in the U.S.?
Yes and no. There's a lot of different genres really when it comes to professional wrestling, but in Japan, there is a much more of an emphasis on the reality aspects of fighting, like submission holds and striking, and also that they go at it a lot stiffer, as they call it in the business, where instead of trying to land a punch that looks like it lands, they actually just go ahead and punch you.
Wow. And do you enjoy that, the performance aspect of that? I mean, obviously, it's different than fighting in a million ways, but as a performer, do you enjoy that?
I love it to death. I think it's great. Pro wrestling was a huge inspiration on getting into fighting in the first place for me, but I also see it as the roots of mixed martial arts. If anything, pro wrestling is what helped to create MMA, and I think they're facets of one and the same thing.
Cool.
So now, okay, are you 100% confirmed to fight Fedor next? Do you have a date? No. What's going on there?
I don't have a date. I don't have nothing that solid, to be honest.
Other than the implication that everybody is saying that you're going to fight Fedor on the next Affliction card, right?
Right. That's about as far as it goes.
Like Fedor, you've talked about it a lot. Is a close friend of yours. You've said that he's somebody that you're happy is in your life, like as a person, as a friend. I've heard you talk about this before, but I mean, you go in and you smash people. You look like you want to hurt them. Is it going to be any different when it's a good friend of yours, or have you fought good friends before?
Yeah, I fought plenty of good friends, actually. I fought Jeff Munson, who is someone that I have often coached, and I've been his corner man. I've known him for a very long time. I had to fight him in Japan. And then I fought Hideko Yoshida, also in Japan. He was someone that was a training partner of mine.
And that was back-to-back, too.
That's just the thing. You're in the business long enough, you're going to make friends with people, but you better be willing to go out there and do your job. And I have no illusions that Fedor is going to do the same. Is
there any difference in the way you approach it, or by the time you get in there? I mean, again, Alex, who's a friend of yours, was telling us that you're a great guy, you're a good friend, you're a really nice guy, but when you get in the ring, you become a different creature. Is that going to be the same thing with a friend of yours, or if you've never met the guy?
Yeah, of course.
Wow.
I have absolutely no qualms in fighting and hurting anyone, if that's what it comes down to.
So now, are you like mid-training right now? Are you focused on the upcoming or impending Fedor matchup?
I'm not really focusing a lot specifically on that. I'm just trying to train and stay in good shape and at a relative level of fitness.
Cool. And then just quickly, what is the strategy when you fight a guy like Fedor? I mean, I watched his last fight. I watched the fight before. I've seen some of his other ones. I've seen lots of yours. You guys actually match up pretty well, I think, because you've got a really great wrestling background. He seems to have, a really good ground game. You both have great stand-up. So, what's the strategy there? What do you think is going to make it, make the difference for you over him?
You know what? That's a good question. I just believe that I'm going to have the skills and be in the kind of shape that's going to be able to win the fight, really. Everything that I do is going to be the right thing.
But is it a specific strategy of, starting off the fight and, let's get him down and wear him out? Or is it, let's stand up for a few rounds? Or is that...
see what happens and respond?
Yeah, exactly. What's the initial thought right now?
Take advantage of any mistake he makes.
Which is kind of his game, usually, right?
Yeah, in a way, but I think that's a good way to look at the fight game, to be able to hit somebody when the opening is there, or take them down, or submit them. You can't always get just what you want, but if you can take advantage of anything that comes your way, then you're more likely to finish that fight. You're going to have that many more opportunities to win.
Hey, what is the deal with the world's love affair with Fedor? I mean, obviously he's a great fighter, and obviously he's this seemingly unstoppable guy. But I had the nerve to on the show one time we were talking as dialogue goes, and I took the side of saying Fedor isn't this as good as everyone says. And I just said it, and people freaked out. Like, people were calling me names, wanting to hurt me because I dared to say that. Well, what's the deal with that?
I couldn't really tell you. But not everybody can be loved, and not everyone will be hated either necessarily. And everyone's going to have whatever their opinion about someone is. And just because that's the popular opinion, that doesn't make it right. It's just an opinion.
Yeah.
I like him a lot, but that's for my own reasons, not because everybody else does.
But you like him and still want to pound his face in.